screen as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go live then.
Okay, just let me know when we are live.
We are live.
Hello, guys. Welcome to our March meetup. And this time we have a special edition machine learning meetup with a very interesting two topics by Varun and Omar. So today you will learn how we can deploy these days, or how easy these days to deploy, create, and train machine learning models using the power of the cloud, right? So before we start with our first speaker, which is Varun, please, if you are not asking any question or you are not talking, just mute yourself because we are live on YouTube as well. If you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section on YouTube or on the Google Meet section as well. And don't leave, because we will have a network session after this meetup where we can talk about anything cloud related or any job positions open in your company if you want. So my name is Muhannad. I'm a solutions architect and lead technical trainer at AirAsia, and I will be your host for today. And we will start with our first speaker, Varun Kumar. I think this is the third time Varun shares something cool with the community. And today we'll talk about SageMaker, which is, I think, the first time we give a talk about this service in our user group. So I will pass it to you here, Varun.
Hey, thank you. And I hope everybody can hear me, everybody can see my face. So everybody, hi, hello.
Yeah.
So let me start quickly without wasting the time, because I have a very less time slot, like 30-35 minutes.
Yeah, maybe you just share first your screen, because you didn't share yet.
Yes. Let me share my entire screen and tell me what you can see. Right. Okay. So can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Screen share.
Yeah, now I can see it actually.
Yeah, you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
So, hello everybody. Welcome to the AWS User Group Malaysia, and thank you, Kaushik. Thank you, KL team, for giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge with the community people. So today's topic is about the Jupiter introduction and something about the SageMaker and Comprehend. Let me focus on the Comprehend and the Jupiter, and I'll give an introduction about the SageMaker. So this is my background. I have almost a decade experience in the cloud, and these are my links. I have my own blogs, my Facebook channel, my YouTube channel. You can go ahead and you can find it out. Just search it on Google, Varun Kumar Manik, and you can find my details. And these are my certifications. I have it, I have a couple of professional and a couple of associate certificate, as well as the Ansible automation certificate too from Red Hat. So my recent notable experience, I'm not gonna read this one. So just letting you know about myself and my experience. I am highly interested to do the DevOps job, and from last 5 years I'm in Malaysia and I'm working with different organizations. Currently I'm working with the Deloitte, and Deloitte gave me the opportunity to make myself as an AWS ambassador. And my work proficiency is across the DevOps in different platform, as well as the cloud infrastructure is my core. Okay, so let's come to the today's index, and these are the 3 topics which I'm gonna talk about. That this is the Jupyter notebook, SageMaker, and sentiment analysis. But before this, let me go through that. The very basic question. I think few of them know about this thing. These questions, a few of them are not. So what is machine learning? So once somebody said that what is machine learning, then what comes quickly in your mind? It is something. What are the different types of machine learning? What are the different algorithm? What are the different tools. And when I said tools, there is a lot of tool available. Okay, and we can do in a DevOps manner nowadays. So what are the tools, and what are the programming language, what are the platform supports there, and how quickly you can upgrade your skills to come into this picture, right? So for me, it took almost 3 to 4 months to make myself comfortable with the machine learning stuffs, and I can say, yeah, within 2 quarter I am a medium level resource in the machine learning. So yes, of course, you need some like 1 to 2 quarters to complete these things and to upgrade your skill set. But these are the different things where you have to focus, right? So let me go and go one by one, like application of the machine learning. Quickly, I can go through that. There's a couple of application nowadays we have to monitor, and we have to go through that. One of them is the emotion analysis. One of them is a sentiment analysis and the error detection and prevention. So what is the difference between emotion and sentiment analysis? Most of the people have asked me this question in the previous workshop or previous talk show. So the emotion analysis, you can say either positive or negative, right? Sorry, the sentiment analysis, you can say either positive or negative, or it's a natural or neutral sentiments. But the emotion analysis will take these three things and include or connect these things with the next step. Let's suppose I have gone through a e-commerce website, and I like the computer RAM. I have to purchase the RAM of my laptop or RAM of my computer, and I click over there. So in this way, they can also read my things, and they can suggest my next thing like a hard disk, or next thing like as a mouse or keyboard. So and based on the comments also, what are the comments we are sending to the YouTube channel or sending to the Twitter or Facebook. Based on that, they can read your positive and negative sentiments, and then they can connect with the emotions, with what kind of political party you can like it, right? So these are the things coming inside the emotions and sentiment analysis. And error detection and prevention is easy. Like we are running any kind of build in Java compiler or C compiler, and we found an issue like a semicolon is missing. So that is a very advanced example I'm talking to you. So that semicolon can be automatically corrected or not. So this kind of thing we can do in error detection and prevention. And there is a lot more other example also. So due to the less time, let's go to the next topic. And basic machine learning applications are like weather forecasting, stock market, speech synthesis, and speech recognition. Likewise, your Google Assistants or the Alexa is doing whatever you are going to say, that they can read, they can analyze your voice, and they can match it with the predefined content, and they will provide the outputs over there. As well as the customer segmentation, like if you are a e-commerce company or a company where you can send like Facebook also. So Facebook can categorize a customer. Okay, this customer asking about the AWS, so they can send so many tutorials as an ad, or sometimes you can find it out some institution address about this. So customer segmentation is also part of that. And object recognition, like with your camera, I am having my glasses on this, so machine learning can easily identify these glasses and say that, okay, this is the glasses. And few of them, due to COVID-19, like most of the organization, they have fitted a newly camera with this machine learning and artificial intelligence capacity to find whether the people are wearing mask or not in their organization. So this is also a image um, recognition thing. And fraud detection for your banking sector, the FSI, the fraud prevention, and recommendation for products of your online shopping. So these are the basic application machine learning things. And let's come to the technical part. So I can divide the types of machine learning, like supervised learning. When I say the types of machine learning, that means the algorithm behind this machine learning. The supervised learning, the unsupervised learning. This is what I'm talking about, a medium level thing, but let me explain within 1 to 2 lines. the reinforcement, deep learning, and deep reinforcement. Supervised learning, where you have already an input, and you can, based on that input, you can teach your algorithm to do the next thing. Unsupervised learning, it can be started from the scratch, and it can gather the data and do the things. And reinforcement learning is something, it is an iterative manner to do the things. And the deep learning is used in the image recognition as well as the video recognition thing, right? So I'm not going in this detail like algorithm and all. So let's move it quickly to the sentiment analysis by the Amazon Comprehend. So before this, there are a way you can download some package in your Linux virtual machine and do your own sentiment analysis with the custom package. But Amazon Comprehend will provide you to analyze the text at any time, and they will provide you the recognition of entity, whether whatever you are writing over there, it can bifurcate and it can provide the details to you. And these are the things like recognize entity, exact key phrases, detects dominant language, PII, and determine sentiments or analyze syntax. These are the basic things what they can provide as a output. So this is how you can go to your AWS account and type comprehend and open comprehend. So yeah, here you can see the entities, the sentiments, either positive, negative, or neutral. Then the key phrases, the syntax, the language, and the topic. So let's quickly move around to the AWS console. And this is my AWS. So you can see the comprehend, or you can just type comprehend here and click on this button. So launch Amazon Comprehend, and all the details you can find it over here. Let's quickly launch it. And yeah, so by default they have given a text box over here. You can type anything over here and just put on an analyze button, and then inside info you can find it out what kind of entities it has, the key phrases, the language, the sentiments, the syntax. Okay, so let me show you with a very simple example that I am very happy to share my knowledge. Okay, and this is a very simple thing, the very basic thing. Here you can see this sentiments having happy. So let's analyze this one and figure it out what it shows here. So it analyzes the text over here, and so analyze, click analyze, go to the key phrase. So key phrase is here my knowledge. The language, you can find it out, the English is 99% confidence, like 99% it is saying that it's the English language. The sentiments here, what I wanted to show you here, you can see the neutral, the positive, and negative. So here you can see it's a 99% positive sentiments coming from the statement. So let's suppose you are a mobile network company. I'm giving a real use case, and you have a customer care. So people like customer of your mobile network, like Digi in Malaysia or Maxis. So if they have any issue, they can call to the customer care. So nowadays, the entire mobile network company, they can record this session for their internal training and to do the sentiment analysis. Well, in that case, the procedure is that whenever I'm speaking something with the customer care, they can translate into the text, and that text will send to the comprehend and different tools in Amazon Web Services, And from there, they can figure it out, the entire conversation, how much time, let's suppose there is a 10-minute talks in between the customer and the customer relationship officer. So based on the talks in 10 minutes, you can identify the first minute was customer was happy or customer was sad, and while leaving the call, whether the customer is happy or sad. So based on this application, if you can make your customer happy all the times, then definitely your business can grow. This is the entire architecture is there. It can use so many tools from AWS, but this is one of the key tools for the sentiment analysis. Similarly, if I can add something, I'm very happy to share my knowledge, and I want to do it again. Analyze it again. So you can see okay, let's go to the sentiment quickly. Again, it is saying that 99% positive sentiments. But whenever I'm gonna say something a negative sentiment that I don't like let's suppose what I don't like. I don't like
KL user group.
Read a book. And go to your sentiments. See, you have now see this positive sentiments is down from 99 to 76%, right? And the negative sentiments is 8%. And if I can say like anyone like Varun is not a good guy. It's good boy, and hit it. Again, you can see the sentiment of the negative is high. It's from 8 to 14, and now the positive sentiment is 30%, and neutral is 1. And here you can see the mixed sentiments is 52% confident. So if I remove everything and just put one line, analyze it, and go to your sentiments here, now you can see it's 90% confident it is negative and 9% neutral. So let me give you a current example from any news. Just type news and go to the Google News. Copy any of them. Where's the sports news? Yeah. So let me add this one with quick buzz, and I'm just copying a paragraph from here. Let's copy this India T20 cricket news. Okay, and it's copied here. I'm gonna demonstrate it. Let's paste it here. Now let's see. There are three things. There are six insight info here. Now entity. So this news saying that, let me read just like one paragraph over here, and based on that, England have a chance to record their first multi-game bilateral men's T20 series victory over India. Their record stand at 1 down series and 2 defeats. They currently lead the 5 matches series versus India 2-1, right? So if you can see, the England is an organization. It's a country, but here as an entity, it is taking as an organization. So quantity, the bilateral game, the T20 is an event. India as a country, it is taking as an organization because there is a match between two organizations. So we technically know it's a two country. but the cricket team is an organization from India, from England, right? So these are the things, and you can integrate these things with your application, with your Lambda, with your API gateway to get the details further in your architecture. And if you can go to the key phases over here, so this is the confidence level. The key phases, the T20 victory is plus 99. India is like confident 100, right? So these are the entities. The language, so you can see the language is English. The sentiments over here, so most probably you can see net neutral because it's a sports news, so there is a no positive and negative sentiments, and that's why I chosen the sports one. And here you can see the 5%, 0.5% confidence, right, and 94% it's a neutral. So syntax is, so the common thing like verb, pronoun, noun. Okay, so England is a proper noun, have is a verb. So you can based on your application, you can utilize these things over here, right? So this is the quick introduction of Amazon Comprehend, through which you can do your text analysis and attach these outputs in your application with this API calls, right? So let's move back to the slide. But meanwhile, is there any question, guys? If not, then I can move it because I have like 15 more minutes to complete this session. Okay, if not, then SageMaker, let me go to the Jupyter notebook. So Jupyter notebook is mainly use Python over there, and whenever being a machine learning programmer, you require this kind of graph in your output of your program. So whatever program you are giving for your machine learning things, there must be some visual outputs that cannot be easily possible to do with the Linux terminal. Of course it is possible, but you have to install and you have to make an entire setup for this. So Jupyter will take care of this. And to provide the Jupyter platform, AWS provided their own platform, Jupyter image, in the Amazon SageMaker. So this is the Amazon SageMaker. You can go to the SageMaker, and SageMaker is one of the best tool to create, to learn, to do anything in the machine learning, right? So this is the introduction thing. So I'm not gonna tell so many things about the SageMaker, but let's do with the notebook section. Inside this notebook section, you have a notebook instance. So if you can create, I'll create it, but I won't wait for this to be completed. I will show you my existing notebook. So for creation of a Jupyter notebook, you have to click on the create, go and give your name like demo2. And if you wanted to give your VPC and all, then here, the life cycle option, to after sometimes you wanted to delete something or stop or something like that, you can utilize over there. The IAM role, which IAM role you wanted to give over here, I can create a new one here. The network, if you wanted to launch in a specific VPC, like I have a VPC over here. So I am not choosing any VPC and just click on the create notebook. So once I click on the create notebook, it will take about 4 to 5 minutes to provide these things. But behind the scene, the AWS will launch an AWS EC2 machine. In that EC2 machine, it will set up the Jupyter setup, and then once it is done, you can find output like this, the Open Jupyter or Jupyter Lab. So if you can click on Open Jupyter as well as the Open Jupyter Lab, it will redirect it to the endpoint of AWS. And here you can see this is your Jupyter notebook and the Jupyter Lab. So let's go with the notebook, and let's quickly go to the new section. And inside the new section, these are the predefined platform available over here. Let me choose one of them. Let's Conda Python, and then this will provide me the Python terminal over here. How I said that Python terminal? If you can press 2 into 2, people those are aware of the Python, they know. So hit enter, and to run this cell, you could click on this run, and you can find the output 4. So similarly, if I can put A is equal to 4, B is equal to 5, hit enter, and in the next cell, to adding a cell, you can hit here and just type here like C is equal to A into B, and I am hitting Control Enter to run this. Print C. So you can see 20. So let's come to the why I'm showing this Jupyter notebook, right? These are the basic thing about the Python. You can run a printf command or something. So this Python cell is working over here. That's what I'm trying to show you, and you need not to give a complete program over here. That's the one of the benefit here in the Jupyter. It's in the block cell, so everything you can run in the cell through which you can rerun your program whenever it requires. So because I have very less time, let me show you a few things about what I have already built here. Let me go to the home and demo 1. So it's not saved. Perfect. Let me show you the W3 school machine learning. This is W3 is very good website for any kind of programming language. So here you can see they will provide the details, but I wanted to show the scattered plot or this kind of thing. So how we can show this kind of thing in the machine learning, this scattered plot or the linear regression things, right? So people those who have some idea about the linear regression and the machine learning, they could match it out. But people those who do not have any idea about that, they can just think like Jupyter is a platform where we can easily run the machine learning programs in line by line in a cells, and we can get the interactive output like this. So to show this kind of scattered or normal data distribution thing, let me just copy this particular piece of code from this website. Going back to my file here, let me add a cell, and I'm importing the NumPy. It's a package in Python, and matplotlib to generate a plot. And this is the histogram thing is already pre-built function in the Jupyter or in the matplotlib or NumPy, right? So this is the library NumPy where the histogram and all the things is there, and show function is defined in the matplotlib. So if I run this one, see, I can see the graph like this. Similarly, if I can copy one more, the scattered plot. So see, there is a two thing. The first block, I can copy the value of x and y over here, go to my Jupyter, and this x will replace the value of this x, right? So that's the beauty of this Jupyter platform. Press Control Enter. Now it's running. Control Shell. Go back to your Python code and just copy these two lines, because this and import PLT. Let me do it in a different cells to show you. hit here, Control Enter, and one more time just copy and paste it here. So rather than giving the input inside a single shell, a single program file, you can distribute your inputs over here and you can get this kind of graph, right? Just to, before wind up, let me show you one more for the linear regression, and just copying everything over here with a new shell and paste it here. So it's saying that matplotlib pyplot as a PLT. Matplotlib is a predefined function, and plot scattered and show. These are the predefined function. If I hit enter, I can see the graph like that. I think I copied the wrong one. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, so this is the particular program where I have the slope, the intersects. So for this, you need to know about the algorithm. But this is the demonstration of the Jupyter notebook. That's why I'm not defining all the things over here. So let's press Control and hit enter. You can see the graph like that. So that's one beauty of the Jupyter. The next thing is that if you wanted to give any kind of documentation in your program, this is the best tool ever I found like this. For like GitHub README, you can create a documentation like that. For example, I can just show you from tutorialpoints.com, and if you can see the heading, if you wanted to give some heading, you can just use 1 hash, 2 hash, or 3 hash, the header 1, 2, 3. Similarly, if you wanted to print a statement or the document like that, you can utilize 1. For the listing, you can see ABC, or the bullet list, you can see the hyphen and star. So these are the documentation tips for the Jupyter notebook, which is very, very useful for running the machine learning program or any kind of program in the Jupyter. So let's go back to the slide. And so in the slide 3rd or 4th, I have discussed about few things. So these are the machine learning platform and tool. So remember this 5 or 6 question out of them. These are the language, the Python, R, MATLAB, Julia, C++, C, and these are the IDE which we can use, the SageMaker, the RStudio, PyCharm, and the platform is Amazon, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, Airflow, and there are a lot many, but these are the few examples. Yeah, so these are the machine learning platform and tools, and that's all from my side, guys, because I'm running out of time. So is there any question? You can shoot the question right now.
Great, thanks, Varun. Okay, guys, if you have any question, you can unmute yourself if you want and ask directly, or leave it in the comments. And by the way, you can check the comment section. Fabian is sharing a lot of cool resources and stuff about what was Varun talking about. So any question, guys?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Varun, how are you using SageMaker? Awesome. Thanks for that demo. I'm actually just very curious, like in your work environment, how have you actually been using that? Or is it primarily you're doing a lot more exploration work, because of your interest in machine learning?
Yeah, the SageMaker Studio, there is a lot of way to do that, to use the SageMaker, but you can just click on the Amazon SageMaker Studio, and here you can submit the things with the IAM role, and it can create an IDE to you. And then after that, you can process your model. You can create, first of all, you have to create your machine learning model. Once your model is ready, you can put inside the Jupyter and connect your Jupyter with the SageMaker. SageMaker will, in the behind the scene, they can create a virtual machine to run your models. And once it is run and successfully compiled, it can show the output to you. So there is a primary integration with the SageMaker over there. So because see, I am very sorry that I could not cover the SageMaker, because if I can go through that, it will take some more time.
Then we should get you in a new talk next time. more details.
I would love to do that with the proper example for the SageMaker with the proper machine learning models, how to deploy the models and how to get the output and how it is working in the real world. So moreover, if you are more interested, you can just go through that, my link. I will put my link in the comment box, and then you can reach out to me directly and I'll let you know.
Just that this one question here, are you doing anything in the production environment or just purely exploration for now due to your interest?
There are a couple of things in the production environment. The way I have told you, the cellular company example. So the customer care example we are doing for a couple of FSI, the banking sector, as well as the telecom sector also. So few of the Philippines and one Singapore client, I'm doing the entire setup for the Amazon Connect, and I'm using this machine learning things, the sentiment analysis and all those stuffs to provide the sentiment back to them.
Awesome, thanks for that.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Fabian, do you want to share quickly what you shared, like this GitHub repo, and like just for people who don't know what's that?
Yeah, sure. I can do that, and I will just take one step back. I think what Varun just shared is how you use the Jupyter notebook, a hosted one on the cloud, and what I actually emphasize, within the chat window is the fact that you don't really need to use that. In fact, if you don't really have a use case, it is what Amazon is doing here is that we're just trying to give you options where in the event, you do need to change, to different kind of machine types, where you need to use GPUs or you need more memory. I think the AWS SageMaker hosted Jupyter notebook becomes a really, really viable option, and I have worked with quite a number of customers that have actually done that. The other thing I wanted to cover as well, when you think about SageMaker, just bear in mind that SageMaker is an end-to-end data science platform to simplify machine learning operations. So it includes things like building, like doing your data exploration, figuring out, like what kind of data do you actually need, and then what you do is that you actually massage it in such a way where you can train a model. And then once you have a model trained, then you can deploy it. And then once you deploy it, you have features like model monitoring, and as you go about iterating, as you want to continue to improve, your model, we have features like experiments, where we actually capture metadata information, just to see how are you actually progressing, because you want to know whether you're going towards the right direction. So Amazon SageMaker provides the end-to-end. And what I've done so far is in the chat box window is I provided a link. If you are a data scientist, you're a data engineer, or you are ML enthusiast like me, because I'm software development background, no machine learning education. This is a great place to start. You go to examples. You start with something easy. Like think about the anomaly detection. You just want to know whether do you have an anomaly in your data set, and we have great examples just to allow you to get started. So yeah, check it out. It's open source, and just check out the SageMaker Getting Started if you're actually keen to get something working.
Awesome. Thanks, Fabian. And I really like this pre-trained models like the AWS Comprehend, right? So we wanted to use something similar in Fab last time, because you don't really need like machine learning skills to detect like what people commenting on your voucher. So in Fab, you wanted to get a feel what people commenting on the voucher. Is it like because some people go and start like saying bad things about the voucher. We don't want to delete these comments, but we wanted to know what people are trying to say, right? Using this like pre-trained. So you just like spend few days actually to implement it with your application. So it's very easy. You don't need like a lot of experience to do like, just take a look on these pre-trained things. And I think Fabian, I didn't know about it. He shared web where you can try all of these services. So you can take a look in the comments on that. So thank you, Varun. Thanks, Fabian.
Raised a great point as well. Just let me just cover one thing, just 30 seconds here.
Yeah, you have time. Go ahead.
Yeah. There are two categories of services that AWS provides. One is AI services, and the other one is machine learning services. Now, what's the main difference between them is that AI, if you hear the term, artificial intelligence, that essentially means that is a ready product where you have human-like capabilities for machines. Whereas machine learning, it's like, you see, it's slightly more technical. It's like the machine is learning stuff. So what I'm trying to emphasize is the fact that if you are keen, to embed some form of artificial intelligence capabilities in your web application, check out the AI services. And that's where you see I have the link that allows you to test things out without much effort. And if you see that, hey, like it resonates, it works, I say go for that. Just skip the SageMaker, skip the ML services, because that is actually more advanced. Usually people tend to go for machine learning is when the AI services just doesn't meet their business requirements. We just can't solve that. And when you require customization, and when you do customization, you start thinking about building, data exploration, data cleansing, training, deployment, model monitoring, and that's where the SageMaker service actually comes in. So I hope that clears things up, give you an idea, where do you start, especially if you want to go into artificial intelligence. So bear in mind, for all of us, which is non-data scientists, our goal is actually to put AI services, AI capabilities in the web app. It's not just, dabbling with machine learning for fun. It's more about having that clear business objective in your mind, where you actually want to land.
Awesome. Thanks, Fabian. If you want Fabian to give a talk, maybe about machine learning stuff, one time he give a talk on the recommendation, just leave in the comments.
Thank you so much, Fabian. Yeah.
Say we want Fabian next meetup, and we will try to bring him in our next meetup. Okay, thanks, Fabian. Thanks, Varun. Let me just share my screen again. Okay, so before we jump to our next talk, we have some hiring announcements. And BlazeClan hiring a lot this year, man. So they want cloud developers, five cloud developers, right? With more. So maybe if you want Kaushik to share about this opportunity. So basically, Kaushik is one of our AWS user group organizers, and he's the director in BlazeClan. So basically, this announcement coming from Kaushik. So Kaushik, if you want to share about this. You can
sure, Fabian. Thank you. So yes, we are growing this year, and we are looking for cloud developers, sales folks. Who this is like a topmost priority now. So if you know anyone who is in cloud sales or IT professional services and has done enterprise sales, please hit them up. Would be keen to talk to them. And if they are local, would be great. And who are already in KL. Given the pandemic, we want to start quick. So that would be a great start. And we are looking for a PSA as well, locally based, and for a customer requirement. So yes, if you or any of your colleagues or friends would be a good fit, ask them to reach out at the said email ID over here, and would be great to connect.
Awesome. And this position is open in KL, right?
All of them are in KL, yes. Malaysia based, yes,
nice.
That's right.
This your chance, guys. BlazeClan, really cool company. I work with a couple of the guys from there. Okay, thanks, Kaushik. So again, I will post this in our user group on Facebook. If you want to reach again to Kaushik, just have a chat with him. And if you are hiring for your company or your team, I mean, this is the best. This is the best place to hunt some good talents, right? So just scan this QR code and fill up the form, and we will share it like this one in our next meetup. Okay. Again, if you want to speak at our next meetup, scan this QR code, fill up what topic you want to talk about, and we welcome any level. You don't need to really be advanced or like super advanced topic to be able to talk. So you can talk about any project you are just experiment with on AWS. So just scan this QR code, and we will reach out to you to tell you more details about how you can give the talk. Next speaker this is the first time we have Omar. So Omar, this first time in our user group, he will talk how you can serve machine learning models in a serverless manner. That's a cool topic. So I will pass it to you, Omar, from here. You are on mute. Omar, can you unmute your mic?
All right. Hey, thanks for the intro. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you well. You can share your screen as well if you have slides to share.
Yes, I do. Just a moment.
Take your time, it's fine.
Here we go. Is it visible to you guys?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. I think I can get started already. Thank you so much, Kaushik and Mohanak, for allowing me to deliver this talk. I'll just start with the title. It's Deploying Machine Learning Models in a Serverless Manner. Moving on, I am Omar Shabab. I have been an indie developer for the past 3 years, mainly worked on machine learning and cloud-related projects. I've been a AWS community builder and DevX mentor. Here is my GitHub if you wanna check out. And a bit about myself is that I like to build side projects. I work on them on my free time, and that way I learn and I can spend my time, right? One of my hobbies. So these side projects don't really become anything more than that, but hopefully someday can be a startup or something. So here you can see a bird. This bird, I don't really know was the name of it or anything. Maybe I can do it with machine learning, right? Maybe a bird detection system. Who knows, right? Or like, how will I go about building a bird detection system? Okay, so here is my content for this talk. I will be talking about machine learning, and then how I can take the model and put it into a container, and also serve it in a serverless manner. Moving on. So for this project, I am hoping that it becomes something. So I want to pick the technologies that are stable, right? Where do I go? I go to Stack Overflow trends, and I try and see like how is the trend looking for Docker, AWS Lambda, and as you can see with the number of questions here, it's actually quite going upwards. So it's like more and more people are using it, and then they have more questions. So I mean, maybe that's all right with my selection of stack. Moving on. Okay. What is serverless really? Like, so serverless, you only care about your code. You don't really care about the heavy lifting of managing servers. You don't have to worry about capacity. You pay for what you use, and then one of the biggest incentives is like it's much cheaper compared to other options. Here is a nice visualization. In your traditional application stack, maybe you're running things on premise or some servers, right? You will have to take care of the storage, the VM layer, and the operating system, like all of these things that are not adding any value to you as a business. But when you move on to serverless technologies, it actually allows you to focus on what's more important. So it's like, for me, I want to build this bird detection system. I only care about that. I don't really care about other details like operating system or the hardware. There are many serverless systems out there. So the one I picked is AWS Lambda. So it's like, what is AWS Lambda? And so AWS Lambda is a compute service that lets you run code without managing servers. I think this is almost synonymous with serverless. Like it has become so popular. Why now is a good time to use Lambda, let's say, for machine learning workloads? Last year, they announced the EFS mount. So previously, I have had issues with big models. deploying big models, especially like computer vision related. But then after around December, they announced 1 millisecond billing reduced from 100 millisecond, and then 10 GB in memory and up to 6 vCPUs, and and it also added support for AVX2. AVX2, like people who run machine learning workloads, they will know that this flag is required for, let's say you want to run TensorFlow. All right, and then the other benefit with AWS Lambda is that your runtime is actually 15 minutes, so you don't have to worry about that for long running tasks. Okay, how does AWS Lambda actually work? You have your event sources. It can be a request endpoint, API, a change in resource, or a change in data state. And then you have your function, your compute, which gets triggered from these event sources. It gets triggered from the event sources, and it does something that you want. Maybe update a DB or outputs something, gives you an output with a JSON dump. So the new update from reInvent is that AWS Lambda supports container images now. So it's like you can upload, you can use until 10 GB, like bigger images, right? Until 10 GB. That's actually very good. All right. Next we have containerization. So what is a container? So it's like a container is a very standard unit of software. You can package everything you have in a container, and then you can run it everywhere. Like your code, your runtime, your system tooling, your system libraries, all of it is packaged. You can even run it on your colleague's laptop. Won't be any issues. Yeah, hopefully. So next up, we have machine learning. So it's like I just want to say a bit about these services before I jump into the mix. So what is machine learning really? Like just now, Varun had shared some slides about that. Very useful. Like if you want to think about it very simply, it's actually patterns. Patterns in your images, patterns in your data, in your financial data, or your marketing behavior. It's just patterns, and then how you process them and teach the machine. So it's like the machine learns from the patterns, and it applies those patterns later on, so that it automates your task, and it can do it at scale. That's like a very basic definition. So let's say machine learning is not actually about like machine learning in real life is not actually about the model itself. There are so many other moving components which you actually have to take care. So I put this slide. This is quite famous from a paper, Hidden Technical Debt in Machine Learning Systems. It's like after you're done building your model, after I'm done building my object detection model for birds, what do I do? What else do I need to take into account? If I go around checking the boxes, I think for now I have the ML code. I need a serving infrastructure. The rest are still there, but then I will be just presenting to you the serving infrastructure. All right. How do you actually develop machine learning? Okay. How do you develop machine learning models? Usually, like as developers, what I will do is I will use my laptop. Or I will use a server with a GPU, And then, as Varun mentioned, like I will use a Jupyter notebook. I will develop my models in the Jupyter notebook, train there, test there, but then I'm not deploying there because it's nearly impossible to do that and scale as well. Because potentially, like, I want a lot of people to use my bird detection system, right? So my machine is not enough for that. And all right, okay. So a bit about deploying models. You on the left side of the picture, you have a graph of addition. On the left side, you have a graph of addition, like doing a very simple calculation.
Sorry, Omar. I think we're just getting some people joining. So before you guys accept, please don't anyone accept people who joining. Okay, okay, you can go ahead, Omar.
Thank you, Mohammed. All right, so here we have two graphs. One on the right is already looks quite complicated. The one on the left is it's actually readable. So it's like if you go and read, it's doing some addition, it's doing some multiplication, and it's giving an output. This model, this graph on the left is a mathematical function. The graph on the right is also actually a mathematical function. But then the graph on the right is actually a deep learning model, right? But then at the end of the day, if you think about it, both of them are graphs. And when we serve models, when we deploy models, what we do is we serialize the model, the graphs. Either we can use pickling or in Python, or we use like protobuf files. Like at least with TensorFlow, it has a protobuf file, which we can use to deploy the model. So the model, at the end of the day, like no matter how complicated it is still actually a graph. Just wanted to convey that with this slide. So, okay, how building deploying models. I think I alluded a bit in the beginning about having issues with large models. Actually, some 2 years ago, I wanted to deploy this ResNet model on GCP ML engine, but then ML engine at the moment only supported 400 megabyte. The limit was 400 megabyte, so we had to find a workaround. So what I ended up doing was instead of like focusing on my business logic, I had to package the model in Docker with Flask and then deploy it in Kubernetes cluster. They still didn't have the managed service yet, if I'm not mistaken. So you can check this out later on. All right. Inference dominates ML infrastructure costs. Why is this the case? So it's like if you build a model for 3 months, you build it, you train it, it's on your side, it's on your laptop, it's on your remote machine with GPU, but then you deploy it. The deployment actually is much longer than your, the deployment stays much longer than your building. So it's like you are deploying, let's say, on a heavy, beefy instance, right, with the GPU. The costs go up very, very quickly. So it's like with this slide, if you notice, the comparison is 10 to 90. So it's like 10% your training, and then 90% is your inference. But I have like, just my opinion is that if you start using serverless for deploying your machine learning workloads, this graph will actually flip. So your inference cost will go way down compared to before, because right now you're running beefy GPU servers, maybe on Kubernetes, who knows, Fargate, like so many deployment options. So a few things you actually have to take note when you want to do inference. You have to think about performance, ease of deployment, cost efficiency, and then hosting and managing models in production. The last point goes more onto ML ops, A/B testing, versioning, model monitoring, all that good stuff, your CI/CD pipelines. So all these 4 things you actually have to take note. But then, as with AWS Lambda, it's actually quite mature platform and already supports most of what we see in this slide. Okay. So what we are gonna do is we take our machine learning model, we put it into a Docker image, and then we will serve it in Lambda with the Docker image support, right? Container image support. So how are we gonna do that? Like, how are we, like, a few components already. You have your machine learning model, you have your Docker image, and then you have your AWS Lambda. So how does all this interact with each other? We can actually use a serverless application model for that. So this is an open source framework for building serverless applications. It provides shorthand syntax for functions, APIs, databases, and event source mappings. You will be relieved to know that it's already built in with best practices, and it allows things like local testing and debugging, making the developer productive, and also it has a lot of integrated development tooling with the AWS ecosystem. Okay. So now I want to deploy my machine learning model, package it in a Docker and inside AWS Lambda. So 3 commands, right? You are just gonna use 3 commands to do that. The first one being sam build. It will build all your artifacts. The second one being ECR create repository. What it will do is it will create a repository for you in the ECR, Elastic Container repository. And then at the end, sam deploy. The guided is there for interactive. With these three commands, you are good to go. And like, of course, there is many things going on in the backend, but this is all you care about to deploy your model at the end of the day. So how does sam do it from your development environment? So you are doing sam build, and then you are doing sam deploy, right? The container image actually gets pushed to ECR, and then from ECR, it's actually pushed to your AWS Lambda. That all of that step is taken care by sam deploy, one command, and then you are good to invoke. We have our bird again. So if you like, what I wanted to do was build a bird detection system, right? So I have my model running in AWS Lambda, and I should be able to invoke now. For invocation, we will just be using the the console. So here is our JSON. Here is our testing URL we got from Pexels. And then once we pass that to the model, this is our expected response. So right now, I think I will show you the demo. Okay. All right. I have tried this before, just before the talk. I think I will save you the time for deploying. But then the first command we have is actually SAM build, right? So if I do SAM build, it's already the build is successful. It actually takes some time. And then I have to create an ECR repository, which I have already done. And then the last command being SAM deploy guided. So here they will ask you some questions, you answer them, and at the end of the day it will be deployed. It takes you about 5 minutes. So I actually did all these 3 steps for you, and then we can straight go ahead to the console. And here what we want to do is, okay, here is our test event in the form of JSON. We will invoke the function. One interesting thing that I have noticed is that the initial call start takes quite some time, but after that, after the initial call start, it's good to go, very fast. Okay, this will actually take some time. So I guess like if anybody has any questions or anything they want to talk about, any feedback, now may be a good time.
Yeah, guys, you can just unmute yourself and ask Omar any question you want. I can see some cool conversations happens as well in the chat section.
Hi, this is Ken. Just want to have a quick question. Have you tried Inferentia before, or anyone in the chat?
I have not. Anybody else?
Ken, do you want to share more about it? Like, what is it about?
I actually haven't tried before, but I learned about it from last reInvent. Is it last reInvent? So I guess it's a chip built by basically by AWS on specific for the like machine learning training and also inference use cases, right? Like all I know that is it's very good for like frameworks like MXNet and also TensorFlow, these kind of frameworks. That's all I know about it. So I hope anyone can share me some light about this.
Yeah, if anyone guys tried it, you can just unmute yourself and share.
Yeah.
If not, yeah, Omar, go ahead.
Yeah, the call start is done. The first request gone through. Here, if you see, like each request is taking around 500 milliseconds, which is quite good actually. We can keep doing this, and the result is up here. So it's like it recognizes, the model recognizes. The model is actually.
Can you make it a bit bigger, the screen on the console? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's better now. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, this is actually a MobileNet V2 model. I got from one of the repositories which is included in my slides. So this model is inferencing, like it sees bird, it sees trees, it sees woodpecker, it sees bird again, plant, tree, flower, and then you actually have the confidence score for each prediction and the bounding boxes as well. So object detection as it is, you know. All right. Here is our bird. Yeah, guys, that's a few more slides. So I have my bird detection system up and running in AWS Lambda. I want to open it to the world. What do? I put it in behind the API gateway, and then I make an application that will trigger this API. and this way, like, yeah, I don't know, maybe 1,000 people or 2,000 people is interested to do bird detection. They can do it at the same time, and I don't have to worry about scaling my services or anything else. It's already taken care by AWS Lambda. Here are some references that I have used. I have actually. All right, the GitHub link down there, this one. I will host all the other resources. For example, the ML demo and how you can do it yourself. And yeah, I want to thank Faz for helping me preparing the slides, Hanif, and then Ali for giving feedback on the slides. And last but not least, I have a bird detection system, and I hope you got something out of this talk, which can become useful to you. Thank you so much for listening, and also, like, if you want some credits and nice things like that, don't forget to sign up for the DevX Connect thing. Thank you so much.
Awesome, Omar. That was a very cool talk, man. Is there any question, guys, for Omar? We have some time for some questions if you guys want. I really like Sam, man. I tried it with Abdussalam one time. We were working on I Wonder freelancing project, and we used Sam. It's very cool and easy to use. I think it's an extension of CloudFormation, right?
Yes.
Yep. It's transformation. Yep.
Nice, cool. Any question, guys, before? Okay, Fabian, go ahead. Yeah.
Which is you're talking about inference. I don't know whether I caught that earlier. Like, what's your inference timing like? You know, what's the response time? Given that this is a computer vision problem and you're running it on Lambda, I'm just curious. You know, like, what's your response time?
It's actually like very fast, 500 milliseconds.
500 milliseconds. Wow. Okay, that is fun. Yeah, I expected it to be slightly longer, but cool. And that image you uploaded, you know, like, how big is that?
That image is compressed. 650 by 940. I can show you the actual image here.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what's the size.
How do I get the size?
Okay, where do you have it? Okay. You probably need, you need to actually save it, you know, and then just see how big the size is. Yeah.
Okay.
Your Parth has just mentioned download it.
I don't have W yet.
The browser title bar up there. So.
But it's okay, yeah. 500 milliseconds is actually fast. Awesome. Thanks.
Hey,
so much.
Omar, you could just right-click on the image and save it. Should work from the browser.
Yeah, I was thinking about the same thing as well. Don't overcomplicate.
Omar is cooler than that, man.
No.
Yeah, he's flexing his console CLI skills. Right?
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Any other question, guys, before we shut down the live and we can have a networking session? So for people who don't know who's Fabian, actually Fabian is working with AWS. So that's why he always shared the cool stuff happening on the chat. So if you have any questions as well, you can stay for the networking session and ask him some questions. Okay.
By the way, there is a developer essay here as well. Faz is in the house. Yeah.
Right. So Faz, who just posted some of the links. Okay. I'm usually used to see Faz only. Now I saw his full name. Awesome.
Yep. Hey, everyone. Thanks for the brief intro.
Great. So let me just share my screen before we end up the live stream. So again, guys, if you have any feedback for our user group or you have any ideas you want to share, you can share this. You can just scan this QR code and fill up the form, and that will really help us. And I will share this QR code on our Facebook user group as well. I'll just give you like a few seconds if you guys can just scan. And don't forget that now we have a YouTube channel and we are recording all our meetups, so you can follow up on the YouTube. We have a meetup channel, which this is our main for registering for our meetups, and our Facebook group where you can share some of the cool stuff you are working with on AWS. And our next meetup will be on 22nd of April. I think we have one speaker now, Yasser, I think he just left. And if you want to give a talk, just let us know, guys. So we will have one next month and we will reach out to you as well. I want to thank,
Sorry,
Yes,
Mo, but maybe we'll change the timing because it will be Ramadan. So maybe we will do some changes on the timing because that will conflict with people's
right.
buka puasa. Yep.
Correct. Okay, then just keep an eye on the AWS user group on Facebook and we will update there. I think that's, it will be Ramadan on that time. Just want to thank Abdsalam. So Abdsalam, he's the one who's doing all the streaming to YouTube and helping us with this, make it like to reach all the people. And Kaushik, who's helping us as well in this user group, bringing speakers and doing these networking sessions. Thanks to Fabian and Faz, they always support us to improve our user group as well. So thank you all, guys. We will now stop the YouTube live stream and we'll just stay on Meetup for a few minutes to network. So Salah, did we?
Yep, I will wait and I will stop it on the right time.
Nice.
Yep, can go on.
Awesome. So Faz still here, Faz, or he just left? Faz, can you share with us how did you help Omar on his slide? He mentioned that you were helping him in his slides. So maybe for the community, if anyone wants help in their slides to give a talk in our